Success is not something that arrives at your doorstep wrapped neatly with your name on it. It is not a gift handed out by chance, luck, or circumstance. Success is a reward, and rewards are always earned. It requires sweat, persistence, resilience, and the courage to rise again when life knocks you down. Those who achieve great things in life are not the ones waiting for opportunities to be given to them. They are the ones creating opportunities with their own hands, their own vision, and their unshakable determination. Every person who has ever built something meaningful, every champion, every leader, every innovator, all of them share one truth: they work for it. They did not wait for someone to recognize them or bless them with success. They put in the unseen hours, the late nights, the early mornings, the sacrifices that no one claps for. They pushed past comfort when the easier choice was to quit. That is what it means to earn success. It is about proving to yourself that you are willing to pay the price that greatness demands. When you look at the stories of people you admire, it's easy to only see their victories, their wealth, or their fame. But what you don't see are the thousands of moments they almost gave up, the times they doubted themselves, the failures that left them on the edge of despair. Success was never handed to them. They earned it by getting back up every single time life pushed them down. They earned it by refusing to be ordinary when their circumstances told them to settle. They earned it by believing in their vision long before the world ever applauded. The truth is, life owes you nothing. No one is entitled to success simply because they wish for it. Wishing is easy. Dreaming is easy. Talking about goals is easy. But doing the work, that is where the gap is created between those who only hope and those who actually achieve. Every moment you invest, every skill you sharpen, every failure you learn from is a brick laid on the path to success. Each step, no matter how small, is part of the process of earning what you desire. There will always be people who look for shortcuts. They want quick results without effort, recognition without sacrifice, reward without responsibility. But shortcuts never build real greatness. What is easily given can be easily taken away. What you earn, however, is yours forever. When you fight for success, when you give your all, no one can take that away from you because you own every ounce of it. It becomes part of who you are, not just something you possess. Earning success requires discipline. It requires you to do what you don't feel like doing. It requires you to keep going when you're tired, when the results are invisible, when the progress feels painfully slow. It demands that you trade excuses for effort, complaints for commitment, and doubt for determination. It is not supposed to be easy. If it were, everyone would have it. But because it is difficult, because it demands the best of you, that is exactly why it is so valuable. Think of success as a mountain. No helicopter will drop you at the top. You must climb it yourself, one step, one struggle, one sacrifice at a time. And the higher you climb, the stronger you become. The obstacles you face along the way are not meant to block you. They are meant to shape you into the person capable of standing at the peak. The journey itself is what makes success worth it. If it were handed to you, it would have no meaning, no value, no pride attached to it. So if you want success, stop waiting for it to come. Stop hoping it will find you. Go out there and earn it. Earn it through persistence when others give up. Earn it through patience when results take time. Earn it through resilience when setbacks knock you down. Earn it through courage when fear whispers that you are not enough. Every day you choose to push forward. You are proving to yourself and to the world that your success is not borrowed. It is earned. At the end of the road, when you look back on your journey, the victories will not just be measured in trophies, wealth, or recognition. They will be measured in the pride of knowing you didn't wait for handouts. You didn't rely on luck. You didn't quit when it was hard. You will stand tall because you know you fought for it. Success is not given, and that is its greatest gift. It forces you to become the kind of person who deserves it. And once you earn it, no one can ever take it away. Success is never handed out. It must be earned through effort, sacrifice, and persistence. Many people in this world hope for success as though it is a gift that might one day land in their lap. They wait for the right opportunity, the perfect timing, or a miracle to open the door for them. But the truth is harsh and simple: success is not given to you. It does not arrive through luck, nor is it gifted by chance. It is earned by those who are willing to put in the work that others avoid, to make sacrifices others are unwilling to make, and to persist when others would rather give up. Success demands payment in advance, and the currency it accepts is dedication, resilience, and relentless effort. Think about the athletes who stand on podiums with gold medals around their necks. We see their moment of glory, but we rarely see the countless hours they spent training, when the rest of the world was sleeping. They earned their victory not in the spotlight, but in the quiet hours of preparation, through sweat, discipline, and pain. Success is not about what people see when you achieve. It is about what you are willing to endure when no one is watching. The same principle applies to entrepreneurs, leaders, students, or anyone with a dream. Behind every achievement is a story of effort that often goes unnoticed, sacrifices that were made in silence, and persistence that refused to quit in the face of challenges. Effort is the first ingredient. Nothing worthwhile can ever be achieved without it. Wishing for success will never be enough. You must be willing to invest your energy and your time. Effort means putting in the hours to study harder, to practice longer, to work smarter. It means giving your absolute best, even on days when you don't feel motivated. Effort is what transforms goals into progress, and progress into results. If you are not willing to put in consistent effort, success will forever remain a distant dream. But effort alone is not enough. Sacrifice is equally important. Success requires you to give up something in order to gain something greater. It might mean sacrificing comfort, entertainment, or even relationships that hold you back. It could mean trading sleep for early mornings, trading instant pleasures for long-term growth, or walking away from distractions so you can focus on your vision. Sacrifice is never easy because it forces you to step outside your comfort zone and let go of things you may enjoy. Yet, it is precisely those sacrifices that separate achievers from dreamers. Success demands that you prioritize what you want most over what you want now. Persistence is the glue that holds everything together. Effort and sacrifice mean little if you abandon them when things get tough. The road to success is not smooth. It is filled with obstacles, setbacks, and disappointments. Many people start with enthusiasm, but when they face failure, they quit. Persistence is what allows you to keep going, even when the odds are stacked against you. It is the refusal to give up when others have already surrendered. It is continuing to move forward, even when progress feels invisible and results seem far away. Persistence is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Consider the stories of great innovators, scientists, and leaders throughout history. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Each failure could have been the end of his journey, but his persistence transformed failure into progress. J.K. Rowling's manuscript for Harry Potter was rejected repeatedly, yet she persisted, and her persistence changed her life forever. These examples remind us that success does not come to those who quit. It comes to those who endure. There will be moments when the road feels too hard, when you question whether all the effort and sacrifice are worth it. That is when you must remind yourself of this truth: success is never handed out. It must be earned. The struggle you face is part of the process, shaping you into the kind of person capable of holding success when it finally arrives. If it were easy, it would not have value. If it were given freely, it would not feel fulfilling. Success is meaningful precisely because it demands everything from you: your energy, your time, your persistence, and your sacrifice. In your own journey, ask yourself, are you willing to do the work when no one is watching? Are you willing to give up comfort for growth? Are you willing to keep moving forward even after failure? Because success belongs to those who can answer yes to those questions. It does not belong to the lucky, the privileged, or the entitled. It belongs to the relentless. The reward is not in waiting. It is in working, sacrificing, and persisting until the door of opportunity opens. And when it does, you will know that you earned it, At the end of the day, success becomes a reflection of who you are. It is not about being handed recognition or applause. It is about knowing deep down that you paid the price, that you fought through obstacles, that you persisted beyond doubt. That is why success feels so rewarding, because it is not a gift. It is an achievement you have built with your own hands. And once you have earned it, no one can ever take it away. Life owes you nothing. Wishing and dreaming are useless without consistent action. Too often people move through life with the belief that because they desire success, happiness, or greatness, the world is somehow obligated to give it to them. They hold on to dreams and imagine a better future. But when it comes to taking the daily actions necessary to build that future, they hesitate or stop altogether. The reality is simple and unchanging. The universe does not hand out rewards just because you hope for them. Life does not work on entitlement. It works on effort, persistence, and responsibility. Wishing is easy. It requires nothing from you. Anyone can close their eyes and imagine being wealthy, fit, successful, or fulfilled. Dreams are important because they ignite vision and possibility, but dreams alone cannot change your reality. If dreams remain only in your mind, they will eventually become sources of frustration instead of motivation. The gap between where you are and where you want to be will only widen if you refuse to act. What fills that gap is not more wishing, but consistent effort, day after day, even when progress feels small and invisible. When you look at the people who have accomplished extraordinary things, you'll notice one common truth: none of them waited for life to hand them success. They acted. They didn't sit back hoping for someone else to make things happen. They made things happen themselves. A student cannot simply wish for good grades. They must study, practice, and put in the hours of learning. An athlete cannot just dream about winning championships. They must train, sweat, and push their body beyond limit. An entrepreneur cannot only talk about building a business. They must take risks, make plans, fail, adjust, and keep moving forward. Wishing sets the direction, but action creates the journey. The world does not owe you success because you were born. It does not owe you happiness simply because you want it. Life will give you opportunities, challenges, and moments to prove yourself, but it will never hand you the finished reward without effort. If you sit around waiting for perfect conditions, for luck to strike, or for someone else to open the door for you, you will wait forever. The people who move ahead in life are the ones who step into the arena even when they feel unprepared. They learn as they go. They make mistakes, they fall, but they rise again. Their dreams do not remain in their imagination because they translate them into daily action. Consistent action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is not the grand, dramatic effort you make once in a while that determines your destiny. It is the small, consistent steps you take every day. The writer who writes a page a day will eventually finish a book. The athlete who trains every morning will eventually outlast stronger opponents. The person who saves a small amount every week will eventually build wealth. Dreams do not collapse overnight, and neither does success appear overnight. It is built piece by piece through steady, disciplined action. There will always be people who talk about their goals, but never back them up with action. They will say, "One day I'll do this," or "Someday I'll achieve that." But those days never come because they remain stuck in the illusion that life owes them results for their intentions alone. The truth is, intentions are powerless without follow-through. A dream without action is just a wish, and a wish without effort is nothing more than wasted thought. The difference between people who live their dreams and those who only talk about them is action. Consistent, persistent, unshakable action. Action is also the antidote to fear and doubt. Many people fail to act because they are afraid of failing or afraid of looking foolish. But the more you wait, the stronger your fear becomes. Action breaks that cycle. When you take steps forward, no matter how small, you begin to learn, grow, and adapt. Every mistake teaches you something. Every attempt moves you closer to your goal. The fear of failure fades when you realize that failure itself is not the end. It is a lesson, a stepping stone. By acting, you gain momentum. And momentum is far more powerful than waiting for the perfect moment. The belief that life owes you something is dangerous because it keeps you passive. It convinces you that success should come easily, that someone else is responsible for your happiness, or that the world should recognize your potential without you having to prove it. But the truth is, liberating life owes you nothing, which means everything you want is in your control. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need luck to start. All you need is to take action with what you have, where you are right now. When you begin to act consistently, you start building habits that turn dreams into reality. Action builds discipline, and discipline builds results. Every step you take is a declaration that you are not waiting for life to hand you something. You are earning it. And the more consistent you are, the stronger you become. Soon, the dream that once seemed distant starts becoming visible. What once felt impossible begins to feel inevitable, not because life owed it to you, but because you worked for it. So remember, this truth: life owes you nothing. No one will hand you your dream. No one will fight your battles for you. No one will put in the work that only you can do. Your dreams are valid, but they will remain in the shadows until you act. Wishing and dreaming are the sparks that ignite the fire, but only consistent action keeps the flame alive. If you want success, don't wait for it. Create it, build it, earn it. That is the only way dreams become reality. Failures and setbacks are not signs of defeat, but stepping stones to true success. Too many people allow a single failure or a series of setbacks to convince them that they are not meant to achieve greatness. They begin to believe that obstacles are proof of inadequacy or signs that their dreams are impossible. But the truth is very different. Failure is not the end of the journey. It is part of the journey. Every setback carries within it the seeds of growth, the lessons needed to rise stronger, and the wisdom required to reach the next level. The people who achieve greatness are not those who never fail. They are those who refuse to let failure define them. Every person who has ever accomplished something remarkable has a history of failure behind them. Michael Jordan, often considered the greatest basketball player in history, was cut from his high school team. That moment could have been the end of his basketball career, but instead it fueled him. He once said, "I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." His greatness was not built on avoiding failure, but on embracing it as a teacher. Similarly, Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before finally inventing the light bulb. Each failed experiment was not a defeat. It was a step closer to discovery. The lesson here is clear. Success is not a straight line. It is a winding path filled with failures that shape you, test you, and prepare you for the breakthrough. When you experience failure, it can feel overwhelming. It can feel like proof that you are not good enough or that your dream is out of reach. But failure is not evidence of weakness. It is evidence that you are trying. It means you are in the arena, doing the work, taking the risk that others avoid. Those who never fail are those who never try. Playing it safe, avoiding challenges, or hiding from opportunities may shield you from failure, but it also shields you from success. The only way to achieve something meaningful is to be willing to stumble, fall, and get back up again. Setbacks are not roadblocks. They are detours. They may slow you down. They may force you to change direction. But they do not have the power to stop you unless you choose to stop. A setback often reveals weaknesses in your strategy, gaps in your preparation, or areas where you need growth. Instead of seeing them as signs to quit, see them as guidance pointing you toward improvement. Every time you fall short, you gain insight into what doesn't work, which brings you closer to discovering what does. Failure is feedback, not finality. Persistence in the face of failure is what builds resilience. Resilience is the strength to rise after you fall, to keep moving when the road gets rough, to continue believing when the evidence seems against you. Without failure, resilience cannot exist. Without setbacks, strength cannot be built. Think of resilience as a muscle. It only grows when it is tested. The more you face challenges and continue forward, the stronger you become. That strength becomes the foundation upon which true success is built. Many people see successful individuals and think they had an easy journey, that success somehow came naturally to them. What they do not see are the countless failures behind the scenes, the rejections, the losses, the disappointments. J.K. Rowling's manuscript for Harry Potter was rejected by multiple publishers before one finally said yes. Imagine if she had taken those rejections as final proof that she wasn't good enough. The world would have been deprived of one of the most beloved stories ever written. Her setbacks were not signs of defeat, they were steps toward her eventual success. Failure also humbles us, keeping us grounded and reminding us that growth is a process. It strips away arrogance and builds character. When you fail, you learn empathy for others who struggle. You learn patience with yourself. You discover that success is not about perfection, but about persistence. Failure, in its own way, is a gift. It refines you, sharpens you, and strengthens your resolve. Those who have never failed often lack depth, because it is through struggle that we truly discover who we are. It is important to change how you define failure. Failure is not falling short of your goal. Failure is giving up entirely. As long as you continue moving forward, adjusting, and learning, you have not failed. You are progressing. Setbacks are temporary pauses, not permanent endings. They are the rough patches on the road to success, but they are also the parts of the journey that make the destination so rewarding. When you finally succeed, you will look back on those failures with gratitude, because they will have shaped you into the person capable of holding that success. The truth is, success without failure is empty. If everything came easily, there would be no pride, no sense of achievement. It is the struggle, the persistence, and the resilience built through failure that makes success meaningful. Think of a mountain climber who reaches the peak after countless obstacles. The pride is not just in standing at the summit, but in knowing they overcame storms, exhaustion, and near defeat along the way. The journey through failure is what makes the triumph worth celebrating. So the next time you face failure, do not see it as defeat. See it as part of your training, part of your preparation for the success you are working toward. Do not let a single setback convince you that you are finished. Instead, let it remind you that you are in the process of becoming stronger, wiser, and more determined. Each failure is a step forward, not a step back, if you choose to learn from it. Failures and setbacks are not signs of defeat, but stepping stones to true success. They are the experiences that shape your journey, the tests that build your resilience, and the teachers that give you wisdom. Success is not about avoiding failure, it is about transforming it into fuel. And when you finally achieve your goal, you will not only celebrate the victory itself, but also the journey of failures that made you unstoppable. Discipline, resilience, and patience separate achievers from those who quit. Everyone begins their journey with excitement, full of energy and motivation. At the start, dreams shine brightly and goals seem within reach. But as the days pass, challenges appear, obstacles test determination, and progress feels slower than expected. It is in these moments that the majority give up, not because they lack talent or potential, but because they lack the qualities that sustain success over time. The difference between those who achieve and those who abandon their dreams lies not in natural ability, but in the strength of their discipline, the depth of their resilience, and the steadiness of their patience. Discipline is the foundation of achievement. Talent may give you an advantage, but without discipline, talent is wasted. Discipline is what compels you to show up every day, to practice when you don't feel like it, to keep pushing when distractions tempt you to stop. It is the ability to do what must be done, even when your emotions or circumstances suggest otherwise. Discipline means choosing consistency over convenience, effort over excuses, and focus over comfort. A person with discipline doesn't wait for motivation. They act regardless of how they feel. Over time, these disciplined actions compound, creating momentum and results that those without discipline can only dream about. Think of an athlete who trains for years before competing at the highest level. There are days they wake up tired, days their body aches, days when training feels monotonous. But they do it anyway because discipline drives them. That is the unseen work behind success. Discipline is the quiet commitment that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Without it, goals remain only wishes. With it, even the most impossible dreams can be realized. Yet discipline alone is not enough. Life will test you in ways you never expect. No matter how prepared you are, setbacks will arrive, plans will fail, and circumstances will knock you down. This is where resilience comes into play. Resilience is the ability to rise after you fall, to keep moving when the path gets rough, and to stay strong when life tries to break you. Resilient people understand that pain, failure, and disappointment are not permanent. They are temporary experiences that can be overcome with determination. Resilience is not about avoiding struggles, but about facing them head on. It is built in the moments when you feel like giving up, but choose to keep going. Every time you rise after being knocked down, you strengthen your resilience. Over time, you become harder to defeat, more capable of withstanding life's storms. Where others see failure as the end, resilient people see it as part of the process. They use setbacks as fuel to push harder, to learn, to grow. This is why resilience is a defining quality of achievers, because they refuse to be broken by circumstances. But even with discipline and resilience, success does not come instantly. This is where patience separates the truly committed from those who quit too soon. In a world obsessed with quick results, patience is rare. Many people want instant success, instant recognition, and instant rewards. When results don't come fast enough, they give up, believing their efforts are wasted. But achievers understand that real success takes time. Growth is slow, progress is gradual, and transformation requires persistence over months and years, not just days or weeks. Patience is what allows you to stay steady during the long seasons of hard work when results are not visible. It is the ability to trust the process even when the outcome feels distant. Patience means not rushing, not forcing, but understanding that greatness is built step by step. A tree does not bear fruit the day after it is planted. It requires nurturing, time, and care. Likewise, your goals require patience. Without it, frustration will drive you to quit before the reward arrives. With it, you will keep going long enough to see your efforts bloom. Together, discipline, resilience, and patience form the unstoppable trio of achievement. Discipline ensures you put in the work consistently. Resilience ensures you keep moving forward despite setbacks. Patience ensures you stay on the path long enough to reach your destination. Without one, the other two weaken. Discipline without resilience crumbles under failure. Resilience without patience burns out too soon. Patience without discipline results in waiting without progress. But when all three are present, they create a mindset that cannot be shaken, a willpower that cannot be broken. Consider the story of anyone who has reached greatness. They will tell you of sacrifices they made, of times they nearly gave up, of years spent chasing a dream that felt impossible. What kept them moving was not luck or talent alone. It was discipline, resilience, and patience. They practiced daily even when no one was watching. They rose after every failure when others doubted them. They trusted the process even when success seemed far away. Eventually, their consistency turned into mastery, their resilience turned into strength, and their patience was rewarded with success. On the other hand, those who quit often do so because they lack these qualities. They give up when discipline feels too demanding, when resilience is too hard to maintain, or when patience runs thin. They want the rewards without enduring the struggle, the results without the waiting, the recognition without the work. But life does not work that way. Achievers know this, and that is why they keep going when others stop. The journey to success will test you in every possible way. There will be days when you feel tired, when progress feels invisible, when failure feels unbearable. In those moments, remember that the difference between you and the person who quits is not your talent, not your intelligence, not your opportunities. The difference is your ability to stay disciplined when you don't feel like it, to stay resilient when you've been knocked down, and to stay patient when results take longer than expected. Discipline, resilience, and patience are not just qualities, they are choices. Every day you choose to show up, to endure, and to wait for the right season. You are proving that you are an achiever, not a quitter. And in the end, these choices will separate you from the rest, carrying you toward the success that only the committed ever taste. Shortcuts may offer quick results, but only earned success has lasting value. In today's fast-paced world, people are constantly seeking the easiest and fastest way to achieve their goals. Whether it is success in business, health, education, or personal growth, the temptation of shortcuts is everywhere. It is natural to want results without struggle, to crave the reward without the process. But shortcuts, while they may provide temporary satisfaction, do not create true achievement. They are illusions that often collapse under the weight of reality, leaving you unprepared and unfulfilled. The truth is simply the success you fight for, sweat for, and sacrifice for is the only success that will last and truly satisfy you. Shortcuts are appealing because they promise speed. They whisper, "Why work hard when you can get results quickly?" But the problem with shortcuts is that they rob you of the growth that comes from the journey. When you skip the process, you skip the lessons, the struggles, the failures, the repetitions, the discipline. All of these shape you into the kind of person capable of maintaining success once you achieve it. A shortcut may get you to the top faster, but without the foundation of effort and experience, staying at the top becomes impossible. Success without preparation is fragile. Think about a student who cheats on an exam to pass. They may achieve a temporary result, but they gain no knowledge, no skill, no growth. When faced with real challenges, they crumble because they never built the competence required to succeed honestly. Or consider an athlete who uses shortcuts like performance, enhancing drugs instead of years of disciplined training. They may achieve quick results, but eventually their health, reputation, and legacy are destroyed. Shortcuts may provide the illusion of winning, but they strip away integrity, pride, and long-term success. On the other hand, earned success builds strength, resilience, and confidence. When you work hard for something, every step of progress has meaning. Every setback teaches you something valuable. Every challenge you overcome becomes part of your story. The process itself molds you into someone stronger and wiser. That is why earned success lasts, because it is not just about the result, but about the transformation you undergo to achieve it. You do not simply reach the destination. You become the kind of person capable of holding that success for a lifetime. Shortcuts also cheat you of fulfillment. When you bypass the struggle, the victory feels empty. True satisfaction comes from knowing you gave your all, from looking back and realizing how far you've come. The late nights, the sacrifices, the persistence, these are what make success meaningful. Without them, the reward feels hollow. Imagine climbing to the top of a mountain in a helicopter versus climbing it with your own strength. Standing at the peak only has meaning if you know the struggle it took to get there. Without effort, there is no pride. Without struggle, there is no story. It is also important to recognize that shortcuts often backfire. They may seem like time savers, but they usually create bigger problems in the long run. In business, for example, cutting corners may lead to faster profits, but poor quality eventually destroys reputation. In fitness, taking shortcuts with unhealthy methods may show quick results, but they harm your body and undo your progress. In life, the shortcuts that seem easy now often cost more later. True success is built on integrity, effort, and patience, not on trickery, avoidance, or deceit. The greatest achievers in history never relied on shortcuts. They understood that the value of success lies in the journey. Thomas Edison experimented thousands of times before creating the light bulb. Nelson Mandela endured decades in prison before leading his country. Serena Williams trained relentlessly for years before becoming one of the greatest athletes in history. None of these achievements came quickly. None of them came without sacrifice. They were earned step by step, and because of that, they have stood the test of time. When you choose to earn your success instead of seeking shortcuts, you gain more than results. You gain character. You build discipline that carries into every part of your life. You gain resilience that helps you face future challenges. You earn confidence, not because someone handed you success, but because you proved to yourself that you could do it. These are qualities no shortcut can ever provide. It is important to remember that slow progress is still progress. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, patience is rare, but patience is where greatness grows. The long road may seem tiring, but it is on that road that you gather the tools, wisdom, and experience to handle success when it comes. Quick results fade quickly, but earned results stand strong because they are backed by growth and preparation. So whenever you feel tempted by shortcuts, remind yourself of this truth: they are traps. They may give you a taste of victory, but they will never give you the strength, pride, or longevity of earned success. If you want results that last, embrace the process. Do the work. Make the sacrifices. Be patient with the time it takes. Success is not supposed to be easy, and that is why it is so valuable. The victories that endure are the ones you fight for. The rewards that last are the ones you earn with your sweat, your discipline, and your persistence. Do not cheat yourself by chasing shortcuts. They may give you speed, but they will steal your growth. Instead, take the longer path, the harder path, the path that demands more of you. Because at the end of that path lies a success no one can ever take away from you. A success that is not only lasting, but also deeply fulfilling. The journey of earning success shapes you into the person capable of holding it. Success is not only about reaching the destination, achieving the dream, or enjoying the reward. It is about who you become along the way. The struggles you endure, the sacrifices you make, the lessons you learn, and the resilience you build all work together to transform you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. This is why the process matters even more than the result. If success were handed to you without the journey, you would not have the strength or wisdom to sustain it. But when you earn it step by step, you gain not just the achievement, but the character to protect and grow it. When you begin a journey towards success, you often start with excitement and vision. You imagine what life will look like when you achieve your goal. But along the way, you encounter obstacles, challenges, and moments that test your commitment. At first, those struggles may feel like setbacks, but in truth, they are shaping you. Every challenge you overcome builds resilience. Every sacrifice you make strengthens your discipline. Every failure you rise from increases your wisdom. The journey itself is a training ground, preparing you to handle the success you are working toward. Imagine someone who suddenly inherits a fortune without ever learning how to earn or manage money. Without the discipline, patience, and financial wisdom that come from the journey of building wealth, they are likely to waste it. This is why many lottery winners lose everything. They were given success, but they were not shaped by the process required to sustain it. Now contrast that with an entrepreneur who builds a business from nothing. Every mistake teaches them about risk, leadership, and growth. Every struggle sharpens their problem-solving skills. By the time their business succeeds, they not only have wealth, but also the ability to sustain and expand it. The journey has shaped them into someone who can hold their success with confidence. The journey also deepens your gratitude. When you fight hard for something, when you sacrifice comfort, time, and energy to achieve it, you value it more. The reward becomes meaningful because you know what it cost. Success that comes too easily is often taken for granted, but success that is earned through struggle is cherished deeply. You don't just appreciate the result. You appreciate the process, the nights you didn't quit, the failures you overcame, the times you kept moving when it felt impossible. Gratitude like this not only makes success more fulfilling, but also gives you the humility to respect the journey of others. Another way the journey shapes you is by revealing your true strength. Many people underestimate themselves until life forces them to rise. When you face challenges on your path, you discover abilities you didn't know you had. You learn that you are stronger than your fears, braver than your doubts, and more capable than your circumstances suggest. This self-discovery is one of the greatest gifts of the journey. Even if the success takes longer than expected, The person you become along the way is already a victory. The journey also teaches patience. In a world obsessed with speed, patience is rare but essential. Success often takes longer than you think, and the delays are not there to punish you. They are there to prepare you. Patience allows you to trust the process, to keep working, even when results are not immediate, to understand that growth takes time. Without patience, frustration would cause you to quit before you reach your goal. But with patience, you stay steady long enough to achieve what others gave up on. This patience becomes part of who you are, and it serves you in every area of life. Resilience is another priceless gift of the journey. Success is never a straight path. It is full of failures, rejections, and disappointments. Each time you rise after a fall, your resilience grows. This resilience becomes part of your character, giving you the ability to face future challenges with strength. Success is not about avoiding failure, but about learning how to keep moving despite it. By the time you achieve your goal, you have become someone who is unshakable, someone who can face obstacles with courage. This resilience ensures that your success is not temporary but lasting, because you are strong enough to protect it. Perhaps most importantly, the journey gives you wisdom. Success achieved too quickly often collapses because the person holding it lacks understanding. But when you go through the journey, every mistake becomes a lesson. Every setback becomes a teacher. You gain knowledge, not just from books or theories, but from experience, and experience is the most powerful teacher of all. Wisdom helps you make better decisions, avoid repeating mistakes, and guide others who are walking their own path. It is wisdom that ensures your success grows instead of fades. The truth is, the journey is not meant to be easy. It is meant to challenge you, to test you, to stretch you beyond what you thought possible. The difficulty is not there to break you, but to build you. If success came without the journey, it would not mean much, and you would not be ready to hold it. The journey ensures that by the time you arrive, you are not only capable of achieving success, but also of sustaining it, protecting it, and growing it. So when you find yourself frustrated by how long the journey takes, remind yourself that every step is shaping you. The obstacles are not there to block you. They are there to prepare you. The failures are not there to define you. They are there to refine you. The delays are not signs of denial. They are signs of development. The journey is making you stronger, wiser, more disciplined, more patient, and more resilient. And when you finally achieve your success, you will know that you are capable of holding it, not because it was given to you, but because you became the kind of person who earned it. The journey of earning success is not just the road to your dream, it is the process of becoming, and that becoming is the greatest success of all.